What is up, guys? It's your boy. I've farmed this enough. I'm going to bed. Alright, one more. Cactus, and today we are going to be going over how to farm the absolute crap out of the brand new exotic class items just added into Destiny 2 within the Final Shape expansion. We're going to be going over not only the loadouts and tips you need to complete the exotic mission they drop from as fast as possible, but also a glitch that gives you double the normal amount of drops. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, if you're someone who has not unlocked and beaten the Dual Destiny Secret Exotic mission, I would highly recommend you check out my guide on how to do so, linked up above. In this video, we're not going to be going over like the mechanics or really how to do stuff, we're just going to be talking about the strategies you need to make everything significantly faster. So, really importantly, before you even start the mission, your team composition matters a ton, because in order to pull off the glitch that doubles your drops, you will need two of the same class. So 2 hunters, 2 warlocks, or 2 titans, one on a dark subclass, one on a light subclass, and prismatic counts as either. But moving on from there, let's talk about your loadout, because there's some super important weapons that are going to make Dual Destiny a lot faster and also are actually required to pull off the glitch. So the first thing you're going to want to have access to is a sword with the Eager Edge perk. This is going to let you switch to your sword, swing, and as you can see, gain a massive boost to momentum. Now, this is going to just help you get through the entire beginning traversal section of Dual Destiny so much faster. Like you can see, when I first got out of this cave, this entire open area covered with ads is actually skippable. I can go right over this massive canyon, I can skip past all these guys, and I can get right to the plate I need to stand on so much faster than if I was actually fighting my way through all of these enemies. And after you do that, you're going to get to the first main encounter where you're deciphering and shooting symbols. Now, importantly, to make this go faster, it's just about killing your assigned taken knight or centurion, depending on whether you're darkness or light aligned, as fast as possible. However, their spawns are tied to the ad spawns, but actually more specifically, their spawns are tied to the yellow bar scions. So you want to be taking those yellow bars out as quickly as possible. You can actually kind of ignore a lot of the taken thralls. Often I would just nuke the yellow bar scions and my guy would spawn and there'd be a ton of taken thralls still everywhere. Now, don't ignore them entirely, but again, like those scions are really what you want to go after to increase the rate at which the guys you actually need to progress the mechanics are spawning. And I just keep my sword on for this because you can absolutely nuke those guys when they spawn, as you can see, very, very quickly, get all of your motes, do the deciphering, and get through this part very quickly. Now, when it comes to killing the ads to make those guys spawn, as you can see, the new Ascendance aspect for the hunter, I got a lot of use out of. Stuff that jolts, stuff that scorches nearby enemies, even like a sunshot, right? Like anything that is unbelievable for ad clear is really going to help in this section. But moving on from there, we get to the second traversal section, and yet again, the Eager Edge sword is going to help massively, and you're going to see in the background gameplay some of the skips you're able to do. I can jump off and skip right past the part I normally have to crouch and slowly walk through. Later on, another big skip is when you get to this part, you're supposed to go right, and then you're crouching by the wall and avoiding the things that jut out of the wall and will push you to your death. You can actually just not do that. Head to the tree branch, as you can see, and you can actually jump up to this slanted object and skip that entire part. That's going to save you some time as well. And again, just generally using Eager Edge to move faster down hallways or whatever is going to help you with getting this mission done faster. Now, after that, we get to our second main encounter here where we have to decipher the code, and there's a lot of tormentor spawns. Now remember, there's a rally flag before every single encounter, so it's a really good idea to be switching up your loadout in terms of weaponry before each encounter to do that encounter so much more efficiently. And from this point onward, for this encounter and the rest continuing forward, especially the boss fight, the cheat code is the microcosm. Oh my goodness, this exotic heavy trace rifle, if you don't have it, I've done a guide linked right up above. is just nutty against the bosses specifically, but also against the tormentors. Like you can see, it cracks those shoulders and then finishes them off pretty darn fast. Now, not quite as good as something like a Sleeper Simulant, but hey, it is so much better against the ads than the Sleeper. So you can use the Microcosm against the insane amount of ads that are spawning here and also the tormentors. Like it performs double duty there. On top of that, using again stuff that is fantastic for ad clear, volt shot weapons, incandescent weapons. If you don't want to use the Microcosm, again, the Sunshot, the Graviton Lance, stuff that can just blow up a ton of ads at once you're going to need for this encounter because, oh my goodness, there is a ton of ads. But seriously, try out the Microcosm. It is nutty. Now, we're going to continue forward. That same loadout of Microcosm, ad clearing weapon, you know, maybe a sniper rifle, a good Secession is what I was using as well, is going to help you through everything until we get to the boss fight. And it's going to help with the boss fight. I want to illustrate here more so. If you don't want to use a Microcosm for the Tormentor encounter because you want to use stuff that more specifically kills the Tormentor, that is fine. But oh my goodness, I want you guys to see how broken the Microcosm is against these bosses. Like you can just see in the background gameplay, pay attention to how fast we're able to melt that third of these bosses' health, especially with 2 Microcosms, and even just with 1, I can, it seemingly take away the entire third of the boss's health before I even need to reload. This thing just dump trucks damage. You can increase the damage even more by going Transcendent before you start shooting, and because this is a kinetic heavy, it actually gives you both light and dark energy to transcend. So the Microcosm is so good in the boss fight. Now, like, yes, technically you can out DPS it with certain precision weapons, but there's so much PvE flinch in the boss fight due to all of the ads, and there's so much crowd control. Like, both of the bosses will either freeze you and suspend you and all this crap, that having a weapon that you can just hit fire into the boss's face as you're moving is perfect for this encounter. So Microcosm will make the boss fight significantly easier. But you will need to pair it with, again, some ad clearing stuff. There's so much ads in this encounter. Often the stuff that was good in previous encounters for ad clearing is going to be good here as well, guys. So, after the bosses are dead, we get to the double loot glitch, and really importantly, you need to have an Eager Edge sword equipped to pull off this glitch. Now, a big mistake that myself and a lot of people I've seen make is before the bosses are dead, they actually switch to the Eager Edge sword, you know, go around, collect some heavy, just so they have that Eager Edge ready for the glitch. But you don't need to do this. When you're choosing between peace or battle, it will actually give you full ammo. So use the Microcosm or whatever heavy you're using for the entirety of the boss fight. Don't be afraid to use every single bit of heavy to take down those bosses, and then as soon as the bosses are dead, then you switch to your Eager Edge sword, and then you go and stand on your plate, as you can see, which is going to give you full heavy. Now we're ready to try to pull off the glitch. So at this point, it's still working. Obviously, in the future, if they nerf this, well, then the rest of the video is still very relevant about how to beat this as fast as possible. So what you're going to do is you have to both choose peace. And remember, you're on the same character. Now, at this point, you're going to run up to where the rewards spawn, and you're both going to interact with the same podium. So someone counts down, ready, set, grab. You both grab at the same time, and as you can see, you're both going to get the exotic class item from this podium. At this point, you jump up to this top ledge right here, and you need another quick countdown because you need to do this at the exact same time. So someone says, ready, set, jump, and then you jump and eager to the back ledge right here. Importantly, you want to see joining allies. So the second you see joining allies, stop, don't move, and if both of you guys have gotten here at the same time, you both join allies at relatively the same time. It has to be within like 1 second. Then both of you guys will load back into the arena, the mission will end, and then you can go up to the other podium, interact at the same time, and grab a second class item, as you can see. So I just got 2 exotic class items from doing this one mission. Very, very fast. We're doing like sub 15-minute runs. So the amount of exotic class items you can be getting if you're doing this efficiently and doing the glitch is pretty insane. However, I can't stress timing enough. If one person gets to that ledge a second before the other guy and they're teleported just a little bit before, what's going to happen is that it will end the mission before the second teammate can join allies, and then the one guy who did join allies can actually grab that class item again, so they get double loot, but the other guy won't. So just keep that in mind, try to time it perfectly. And so guys, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.